Welcome to college football on ESPN2, presented by Geico. Tonight it is senior night here on the final day of the regular season at Falcon Stadium. As earlier, the Wings of Blue parachuting down onto the field here in Colorado Springs as we get ready for Air Force playing host to Utah State in this Mountain West Conference matchup. Hi, everybody. It is great to have you with us here tonight. Welcome to Colorado Springs. Mike Corey alongside Mike Golick Jr. And what a weekend it's been. We have the pleasure of closing it out here on this final game of Saturday. And how about it? Boy, we've had some crazy upsets here. Alabama with the loss today in the Iron Bowl to Auburn. Chip Kelly is now going to UCLA as their new head coach. And the college football playoff rankings, very interesting now, aren't they?
Yeah, congratulations to our now former colleague and Chip Kelly. We hardly knew ye, but you're right. The College Football Playoff Committee really has their hands full now. A glut of one-loss teams coming off of this weekend, and each with major flaws, major resume points that they're not going to have to cipher through in a hurry because we have a big Sunday coming up very soon.
In this game here tonight, Air Force lost 32 seniors from last year's team. They knew this would be a little bit of a rebuilding season for them. They're going with their third-string quarterback here tonight. Where's Air Force at right now?
Just trying to rally around this young guy right now, getting out here, getting his first meaningful game appearance, but more than anything, trying to go into the offseason feeling good. You get a win, and there's a sliver of hope with the potential for bowl eligibility, but really you're trying to build some momentum into an offseason, knowing a lot of your young guys got on the field, and you'll have plenty to go with towards the future.
Injuries to their two starting quarterbacks, so Isaiah Sanders gets a start tonight for Air Force. Now for Utah State, they are in the bowl for the sixth time in the last 7 seasons. New offensive coordinator, and they changed up their quarterbacks. Went from the senior to the redshirt freshman 4 games ago, and they've won 3 of their last 4.
Fourth offensive coordinator in 4 years for Matt Wells and this staff, but a freshman quarterback, nothing he's not used to. 14-3 record with a freshman quarterback at the helm in his 5 years at Utah State. And this relationship between Coach Yost and Jordan Love, really one that's starting to round into form. He understands that they've got a kid that's unique. All these coaches laud his preparation as really years ahead of his level of playing time, and they're going to look to see more of that on display tonight here on the road.
And how about Matt Wells on the other side for Utah State? We had a really nice meeting with him last night. Now in his 5th season, able to really balance everything they're trying to do on the football field along with family life, all his coaches and players, and it's great to see what he's done at Utah State. Coach Calhoun, now in his 11th season, loves the ability of his players and the dedication that they have being here at Air Force. Told us numerous times yesterday about that. It's a special place.
Really understands it's his alma mater. What greater feeling than to get to give back to the place that was so kind to you.
And here we go underway with Utah State. And Savon Scarver on the return, dropped at our opening kickoff of the game tonight. And Jordan Love now coming out, the redshirt freshman out of Bakersfield, California. They started the season with Kent Myers, started the first 7 games, but it's been Love now here in his 5th consecutive start.
And really weaned him into this. A lot of playing time. We'd get about 1 series a game at the start of the second quarter. Kept liking what they saw, and finally in the Wyoming game, looking for any spark for this offense. He provided it and hasn't looked back since.
Love, sideline route and overthrown, looking for Dax Raymond. Marquise Griffin was on coverage for Air Force.
They're going to try and get Dax Raymond into space a lot tonight. David Yost loves the tight end in this offense as you see them getting up and getting ready to go already.
The pace is fast. Love's pass, and this one's caught. And Jordan Nathan, and gets across the 30 for a first down. How about impact players here tonight, Mike Golick Jr.?
Yeah, you're looking at Dax Raymond, we mentioned the tight end, and on the other side, Grant Ross, the only returning starter on the defensive side for a very young Air Force defense.
Right back to the line quickly. First down and 10 for the Aggies from the 32. Lawan Hunt is in the backfield for Utah State. Movement, and our first flags of the night.
False start. Offense, number 68. 5-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
And you just see right here, crowd noise really not the issue, just a lack of focus right here, as it didn't even look like Love was ready for the ball. And this is an offensive line that coming into the year, this starting five, none of them had taken a snap for Utah State before this season. An entirely new group with an entirely new coordinator, now with a new quarterback.
1st and 15 after the penalty. Pressure again coming from Air Force, and it's Hunt's first carry tonight, and not much to the 29-yard line. Now, how about back when you played at Notre Dame? How difficult was that sometimes if you had a new guy coming in? How do you get used to your quarterback back there and understand what's going on?
Yeah, it's an entirely different feel, especially when you've got a young player, and it really makes the rest of the group ratchet up their intensity and understand that this guy may be lacking in experience right now. Seeing a lot of these, I mean, Coach Wells made this very clear. Everything that's happening for Jordan is a first right now, and so it's on the rest of this group to help make sure they bring him along through those moments where he might struggle.
And now it's a reverse here for Aaron Vaughns. Getting it from Hunt, and Vaughns cuts it back across midfield. Nobody's going to catch him. Aaron Vaughns goes in for the touchdown for Utah State, 71 yards.
And I tell you, what a moment for Aaron Vaughns, getting the long touchdown run right here after just getting a scholarship this week. Was a walk-on player for this program. We received word before the game he was just awarded his scholarship this week. What a way to kick off that celebration.
Officially goes down as a 71-yard TD run on that reverse to Aaron Vaughns. His first touchdown of the season. He threw a touchdown pass earlier this year, but has that one rushing, and it's 7-0. Aggies on top.
You're going to see him come around in the reverse right here. Starts off in the slot. Starts off in the slot. He's going to come around and get it. Watch Love right here get just enough, almost distracting the defensive end, Santo Coppola, and just getting enough of him to free up his slot receiver, and Vaughns does the rest. A great cutback across the field, just finding a lane and getting to the end zone.
Awesome start for the Aggies.
For a quarterback, that qualifies as a block. We're willing to give him credit on that one.
What a play. And Utah State leads at 7-0 here, a team that comes in at 6-5, already bowl eligible. His first career touchdown for Vaughns, as we said, but Coach Wells said, you know, they want this one bad here tonight. They're not just saying, okay, we're already in a bowl, we're good. They want to win this game against Air Force. It's huge, this matchup for this team. And now what's it going to be like for the Falcons? Arion Worthman and Nate Romine, they're two quarterbacks that they've had. The junior at Worthman, the senior in Romine are both injured. And Isaiah Sanders, number 4, the sophomore out of Colorado Springs, is the quarterback here tonight for Air Force.
You got to talk about breaking in a new quarterback on the fly now for these guys. Even less experience than what we've seen with Love on the other side for Utah State. Let's see if they lean a little more on the fullbacks, try and control time of possession here tonight.
Jacob Stafford is the fullback that starts behind Sanders here in the opening sequence. Keeper. Not a bad little run, though, to start here for Sanders. Gain of 5. Let's go impact players now while the Falcons have it on offense.
Yep, for Air Force, you're going with the elder statesman at running back, Tim McVeigh, a guy that we'll probably see a healthy dose of. And on the other side for Utah State, Dallin Levitt, one of the smartest players on this football team, a guy who's going to call a lot of the shots versus this vaunted triple option running attack.
You just mentioned McVeigh, but he's taken down for a loss in the backfield. And that was David Woodward that makes the play for Utah State.
And they mentioned that Woodward is a guy that, because of his lateral quickness, the ability to move sideline to sideline, is going to see a lot more playing time against this attack, as now they'll go for some spread option look.
Sanders and will get the first down. What a run. Gets up to the 40-yard line. Devon Anderson on the tackle. But that's good for Sanders' confidence here early.
And that's the beauty of the spread option, is it sort of slows down the reads for the quarterback, and for a guy that's deciphering a lot of these on the fly for the first time, tremendously helpful.
Air Force moving fast. Sanders again for a gain of at least 9 yards here on that first down. Levitt on the tackle for Utah State. So second and short, exactly where the Falcons want to be with this type of offense. Stafford fullback, first down.
Jacob Stafford, the ball carrier.
Usually like a fullback with the nickname Bull. Sets the tone pretty well for an offense, and this is a guy that also can get after it running the ball. Had 9 rushes for 104 yards and a touchdown against Colorado State. Is no stranger to carrying the rock.
Sanders, and the keeper, another good read here by him, and gets inside the 45-yard line. So how about Air Force, how fast they're moving here to start this game?
Exactly, and it simplifies it again. A lot of quarterback keep situations for this guy and allowing him to break some tackles and get into the flow of the game early. Think of it as the triple options version of getting a quarterback easy throws to start the game and get in rhythm.
Now they give it to Burdo. Taven Burdo on the first carry tonight, the fullback in for Stafford. And he has the first down run and more inside the 30-yard line.
The former Oklahoma High School State Player of the Year is a senior. They've got 2 bona fide options at fullback that they can really cycle through here. And again, controlling time of possession against a quick strike offense like Utah State's key.
Now from the gun here, Sanders. And gets forward again for good yardage to the 22-yard line. And Woodward again on the tackle for Utah State. They've been able to pick up very good yardage on first down here on this opening drive. And McVay back in. We'll check at Burdo again, fullback there that time. Burdo, a sophomore out of Altus, Oklahoma. His numbers on the season: 5 touchdowns. And they want to go back to him at flags fly here on this first down. Movement on the Falcons.
False start. Offense, number 74. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Steve Barron, our referee tonight.
This is a great chance for Utah State to catch their breath a little bit on defense. You can tell they're back on their heels. And Coach Miley, their defensive coordinator, told us they don't want to let this triple option take away their aggressive style. This team tries to work their way into the backfield. They'll bring pressure down in the red zone. This is a good chance for them to regroup and start going back downhill.
And Miley told us last night, too, they did a nice job of stopping the dive last year, but they need to be better at the pitch. We'll see what they can do here in this game tonight. 1st and 15 after the penalty for Air Force. Fake to Burdo. Now Sanders flips it out. And this is McVay. And McVay gets to the 13-yard line. And he's hobbling a little bit as he gets up from that last run. Another flag.
Shift. Offense, number 3 and number 33 were both in motion at the same time.
An illegal shift this time called on Air Force.
Last thing you want to do in a drive where your freshman quarterback was feeling good, they got him rolling, and you notice there hadn't been as many of the sideline checks. We'd seen that from Air Force in the past, simplifying it down a little bit with the young guy out there. Go with the first play, read your keys, and play fast.
Sanders up the middle. Another flag is down. Another one comes in late. He gets down to the 12-yard line. First down markers at the 8, but already a ton of flags early in this matchup.
And down in the red zone, too. Drive-killing penalties.
Wonder if we have 2 fouls here, 2 different ones on this play, because the first flag came down, then another one was late coming in. Let's see.
There are fouls on both teams. Holding, offense, number 77. Offside, defense, number 51, lined up in the neutral zone. Those penalties will offset replay first down.
And if you're Air Force, you have to be really careful about continuing to mount up penalties in this area of the field. I get you've got a Groza Award watch list guy and a guy who has a chance to become your all-time leading scorer at kicker for you tonight, but no need to challenge that range unnecessarily.
So now Nolan Erickson is in the backfield along with Jacob Stafford here on this set after the penalty. First pass of the night and off the hands of Ronald Cleveland.
Cleveland, a guy that can really do it all for them. Third on the team in rushing, second in receiving. And those are the plays you're talking about you have to make when you've got a young quarterback to help him and reward him for the proper decisions in this offense.
It's only the third game of the season for Sanders and only his fourth pass of the season now, 0 for 4. But you're right, Cleveland, a guy that they like to get out in space. Drops that one. Second down and 20. Sanders, they've got a good block that time too, and that was by Nolan Erickson. His tailback back there, Suli Tamaivena on the tackle for Utah State.
And you can see with their offense using that full house backfield just to get those other backs in front of him as lead blockers and give their quarterback a chance to break tackles, something that early in this drive he's shown an aptitude for.
How about this defense for Utah State? The last two opponents, 7 trips inside the red zone, no points. What does Air Force do here? Sanders bottled up at the 15-yard line, and it's going to bring up fourth down, so the first down marker's at the 8. It'll be fourth down and 7, and they're going to try the field goal here, so we'll see if some points are finally scored in this Aggies defense inside the red zone.
And here comes Luke Strable. As we mentioned, it's 6 points away from tying the all-time points leader as a kicker for the Air Force Academy.
It's a 32-yard attempt here for Strable. And that one's good. Air Force on the board on their opening drive. It's Utah State 7 and Air Force 3. We'll be back. Next Saturday, the Dr. Pepper ACC Championship game. Number 2 Miami and number 3 Clemson. Of course, rankings may change after this weekend for sure. Miami going down, but a spot in the college football playoff is on the line. If the winner, does the winner get in? Depending. What do you think, Mike?
I think Clemson gets in with the win. No ifs, ands, or buts. They're in for a bump up, provided they hold on against South Carolina, which looks pretty good at this point. Miami, I think, is going to need some help. They're going to be right in that glut of teams with Alabama and a couple of the other one-loss groups in college football and a 2-loss Ohio State team with a chance for a Big Ten title.
That is next Saturday at 8 p.m. Can't wait for it on ABC. Let's go back to the studio and get an update from Chris Cotter. Chris.
First down, Aggies.
All right, Chris, a lot happening here tonight, huh?
It's a big one in the Pac-12, and now actually USC not totally out of things either. 2 losses and a chance for a title.
Look out, another big run. Gerald Bright on a carry for Utah State. 71-yarder earlier, and this one goes for 75. Touchdown. Vaughns went 71 yards for the touchdown, and now Bright goes 75 yards for a score for Utah State.
And this is something that they are more than used to. Last week against Hawaii, all 5 Utah State touchdown drives took less than 2 minutes and 20 seconds. That one didn't even need that long.
Dominic Eberle for the extra point. 14-3 Aggies here early.
Big playability. They told us they wanted this to look like the Oregon Ducks run game. This looks awful familiar. Streaking towards the end zone for another Utah State score.
ESPN ESPN College Football is presented by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
The Patriots stayed in Colorado a few days after their Sunday night football game against Denver to practice at the Air Force Academy, and head coach Bill Belichick spoke to the cadets and received a few gifts from the academy as well. That must have been a huge treat for them.
On to Colorado Springs.
Right.
I think that was the message here. No, I'm sure Bill more than enjoyed the trip. A nice chance for the Patriots to get some work in and get some appreciation for what all of these student athletes are going through out here preparing to serve their country.
This game is fast and furious here to start. We are midway through the first quarter. Already 2 touchdowns on the board for Utah State. How did it happen, Mike?
You're going to see the motion right at the bottom of the screen here. Going to go and take one of these safeties out of the middle of the field when they start to run on this play, and then it just becomes a simple one-back power. You see 4 vacate right there. Good job by the puller blocking inside out. Going up the middle of the field once you've taken that defender out of there frees up all that space, and it's nothing but green grass.
Great call for Utah State. They have 163 yards already. 5 total plays for them in the first quarter with 14 points, and flags fly here before Air Force gets set to run a play.
Offside, defense, number 42, 5-yard penalty, first down.
All right, so the Aggies there with the 14 points and the 2 rushing touchdowns, 71 yards by Vaughns and 75 yards by Bright. Can't start much better than that. Oh, and Sanders in trouble and will not get away. Brought down Suli Tamavena on the tackle for Utah State.
Seeing some of the sideline check with Mies now in this second series. And a good job there taking away the dive inside. But that end crashing down and getting into the backfield early. The quarterback doesn't even have time to press that edge and try and make him commit. He already made the commitment well in advance.
Second down after the loss of 1, and Sanders maybe gets 1.5 there across the 30-yard line, setting up a 3rd down and a little more than 4 on the way.
And that time you saw a wing flat motion instead of that normal arc motion that you'll see in the backfield on these triple option plays. They're trying to find creative ways to get lead blockers in front of their quarterback and take a lot of the decision-making mechanics out of it. This is a group that's already had issues with turnovers, not trying to let their freshmen get any more.
Sanders had only 18 snaps of game experience coming into this game here tonight in his first career start. Finished the game last week, but this is different. Pitches it out to McVay. Utah State's all over it, and they're going to swarm him for a 4-yard loss, led by Tamavena with already his 3rd tackle tonight for the Aggies.
Flag
again. Wow.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 51, 15 yards from the previous spot, automatic first down.
Justice Tayi, after they had stopped him to force a punt. Instead, it's a first down. That's the 4th Utah State penalty already in this game tonight.
Penalties and issues for both teams right now. It's a shame for Justice Tayi because he did a great job of setting the edge on that toss play. You'll see him playing at linebacker, one of these defensive end spots spacing-wise. Reaches out there, and really it wasn't Justice Tayi, that was Adewale Adoye that actually came over and got the face mask on it. Tayi doing a great job setting the edge.
Hey, you're right, they had the wrong number, 55, 51. Now Stafford on the dive for a couple for Air Force.
And that's where it all starts. We've seen this Air Force team beat people on the edge more and more this year. But you hear Coach Wells on the other side, and it all still starts with that dive.
Sanders cross midfield into Utah State territory. Going to bring up a 3rd down and 5 here.
And that last play defensively, another great example of what Utah State still wants to be despite the pace, despite the option look, bringing the corner blitz from the boundary.
Sanders from the gun, swings it out, and a catch is made, but Erickson is taken down by Gage Ferguson for Utah State after just a 1-yard pickup, and now it's punt time. No flags are down.
Gage Ferguson doing a great job of defeating blocks on the edge. We mentioned Dallin Levitt before. Gage Ferguson is camping, buddy.
They got to keep an eye now on the punt block team for Utah State. They have 4 on the season. DJ Nelson, number 18, has 2, and Louis Compton, 44, has 2, although Compton is not in action tonight right now. Fair catch called for and made inside the 10-yard line. And the Aggies will see if they can take it to the house. 3 consecutive possessions when we come back. All right, let's take a look at both teams' plan for success here tonight, brought to you by Northwestern Mutual. What do you have here, Mike?
Yeah, and really going to be pivotal on this drive. Utah State already well on their way to their goal. Score 30-plus points. They're 40-1 in their last 41 games when scoring 30-plus, dating back to 2011. 5-0 this season. And for Air Force on the other side, force 2 turnovers, and then you're in. 15-1 in the last 4 seasons when forcing 2 putts. Going to be huge on this drive, although maybe they'd settle for a tackle first.
Yeah, exactly. It hasn't been the case here early. Hunt, and that's what they needed, dropping him for a loss of a yard. Air Force has given up 7 one-play scoring drives this season, 2 of them here tonight. Aggies right back to it. Love snagged out of the air. Nice catch by Nelson.
And they're saying he bobbled it at the sideline.
Now incomplete. And the flag is down again. Go figure, right?
Ineligible downfield. Offense, number 76. Half the distance of the goal, 2nd down.
All right, so that's left tackle Roman Andrus that time. That was ineligible down the field. The catch, or almost made, by DJ Nelson, who's actually the 3rd-string quarterback that they've moved out into the slot this season.
Guy who's blocked 2 punts for them as well and really shows this team's commitment to special teams. Coach Wells told us the starters play. All of their best guys will be on their 4 running units, and the quarterback is not exempt from that.
All right, so they decline the penalty, and it's going to be 3rd down now.
See if Air Force brings a little heat on this one. They like to pressure in their own right.
The ruling on the field of an incomplete pass is under further review.
Well, if anything, it gives everyone a chance to catch their breath a little bit here tonight. We finally got a chance to slow it down between these 2 teams that are moving at a rapid pace to begin this contest.
I don't know if it's the altitude, the pace of play, or all of the above, but we're huffing and puffing here in the booth.
Exactly. 14 points by Utah State on a 71-yard run for a touchdown and a 75-yard run. Now it's their 3rd offensive series, and here's the catch by Nelson, but does he maintain complete control of the ball through the process of the catch to the turf?
Yep, going to the ground. We know that's a part of this process here. Should get a good look at the angle. And you know the ball can hit the ground, but it can't help you maintain control, and it looks like it shakes loose there at the end. Have a feeling this is going to stick with the call on the field. Remember, it was ruled incomplete. I don't see any indisputable video evidence that would suggest otherwise.
Yeah, the call on the field was an incomplete pass. Then we had the penalty. Let's get the call here.
The ruling on the field of an incomplete pass has been confirmed. 3rd down.
Yep, you're right, Mike. So 3rd down now, 3rd and 10 for Utah State.
And I'd expect Air Force to try and heat them up here. They've got them back. They've got them on their heels a little bit. And we've seen this group up front willing to jump if you give them a reason. Some of those bodies up around the line of scrimmage create confusion.
Deep in their own territory, 3rd down. It looks like they had brought up some pressure. Jack Floor, linebacker, up to the line of scrimmage. Now he backs
Checking
off.
out of it now.
Yep. Love. Wobbly one up on the sideline, and that is going to be ruled incomplete. Wanted Ronquavian Tarver, and he wasn't able to haul it in.
Jeremy Fedulum on the call, on the breakup there. Gets his head around, goes up, gets his hands in there, makes a great play on the ball. That's just excellent play, running with him step for step the entire way.
Ronald Cleveland back to return the Aaron Dalton kick. He's in the middle of his own end zone here for Utah State. More whistles before 4th and 10.
The ruling on the field of an incomplete pass is under further review.
It's basically a three-man crew here tonight. Mike Corey, Mike Golick Jr., and Steve Barron, our referee.
The script of this game so far has either been big play for a touchdown, penalty, or review.
Well, you had called it, Mike, and Tarver defended by Fedulum there. And we got a better look at it from the other angle where he did get in there to try to break that one up.
Yeah, I'm going to see if we can get that look back from the end zone cam on this one. Blocked by the sideline and can't really see that space at the bottom. Here we go. This should be the angle. Gets the foot down, but does he have control? No.
I don't even know why they had to take a look at that again. That's incomplete, obviously.
I get wanting to get the call right, but it seemed like they had that just fine with the eyes on the field.
Yeah. One of the more obvious incomplete passes, but in any event, 4:16 to play here in the first quarter, and Utah State will be punting, 4th and 10.
Set Air Force up with some nice field position.
The ruling on the field of an incomplete pass has been confirmed. 4th down.
First Utah State punt of the night. A good job by the Falcons to stop them and deep in their own territory too, Mike. They'll get good field position here after this kick.
It's exactly what this Falcons offense needs. Maybe see them bring back some of that tempo from the first drive that worked really well for them.
Air Force has also had the propensity to block kicks over the last 4 years as well. You got to keep an eye on that. Here they come. Dalton gets it off. Ronald Cleveland, fair catch inside Utah State territory at the 47-yard line. And did we or did we not have playoff implications over this weekend here in the final weekend of the regular season in college football? Number 1 and number 2 going down both in the same week for the first time since 2012.
Remember a little something about that feeling. The beneficiary of that in 2012 was the Notre Dame Fighting Irish team I was a part of my last year in South Bend. Remember, it was like it was yesterday at the establishment, CJ's Pub in South Bend, enjoying, we'll call it a late dinner with mom and dad, and watching at that time number 1 and 2 Kansas State and Oregon both going down. Kansas State to a Baylor team that year, Oregon to Stanford. And thinking to myself, man, K-State could have held on. Maybe we wouldn't have had to play Alabama.
How about that? Latest in the season that number 1 and number 2 have gone down since 07 as McVay gets the carry for Air Force inside the Utah State 40, setting up a 2nd down and short. So the release comes out on Tuesday night once again, the second to final one this Tuesday at 7 o'clock on ESPN, and how things will change in that poll coming up.
The rivalry weekend really coming back to bite some of these teams, and one of the better Iron Bowls in recent memory. Sanders, and he'll get the first down here to the 36-yard line of Utah State. You surprised by the outcome, and then surprised how it happened today in the Iron Bowl with Auburn? What do you think? Surprised how it happened on Alabama's side. The lack of discipline for them, inability to manage the snap count late in the game, bad penalties, just a lot of lack of discipline that was really uncharacteristic of Nick Saban-coached Alabama Crimson Tide teams. Not surprised that Auburn and Jared Stidham slinging around the yard. But Alabama on the other side really struggling with the fundamentals that are usually such a calling card of that program.
Sanders on the keeper, but here's the thing. With all that, it's their first loss of the season. I mean, we've been talking all day. You feel like they're still in. I mean, a lot of things have to happen, right, for them probably to not get into the playoffs.
Very much so. Really, if you were an Ohio State or a Miami football fan, you were rooting for Alabama to go on through and win the SEC title because it clears up the picture for you. Now you've got another team right in the same vein as you challenging for that final spot.
Stafford, fullback, fumbles the football. And inside the 20-yard line, let's see if Air Force got back on it. They did. Almost a turnover for the Falcons. And the offensive lineman there, Ernest McQuaid, I think got that one back.
And this is what they coach. You saw the punch out by Utah State. They call it ball searches. They're looking for attempts on the ball carrier, trying to jar it loose.
It was actually Marcus Bennett that recovered at the wideout. Offensive lineman was down there as well. Now Burdo on the carry for Air Force. So they get extra yards after that. Fresh set of downs.
Back to that attempt on the ball, though. That's something Utah State tracks on defense. Tomahawks, rips, punches. They're looking to get every attempt. The second guy in on most of the tackles. They want making plays on the football just for that reason.
Burdo the carry. And to the 10-yard line, just a little bit shy of the first down. Back to what Utah State does defensively. To your point, Mike, they've got 25 takeaways on this season. Good for 5th in the country. They've been great at that this year.
Only 10 all last season. This has been a huge area of improvement for this group.
Air Force wasting no time. 3rd down, the give, and Burdo's got the first.
Another flag
Burdo,
down.
you're right. Far side of the field. Player down for Utah State as well, Logan Lee for the moment.
Offside. Defense, number 47, lined up in the neutral zone. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is a first down.
So they come out to attend to Logan Lee. Minute 28 to play, first quarter. It's going to set up a first down and goal for Air Force when we get back to action at the 4-yard line. Lee gets up and will walk off here.
This is a good spot on the field. You have everything at your disposal for this Air Force offense. And what's been working for them so well over the course of the day is letting your quarterback keep the ball. And we've seen some uncharacteristic motions in this triple option offense to really line you up and get you into sort of base run plays that you'd see in almost any team in Division I football.
How about your early assessment here on Isaiah Sanders, the sophomore quarterback, his first career start, 3rd career game? You know, and what he's done so far in this first quarter.
He's shown an ability to break tackles. He's shown toughness and poise right now, and this coaching staff's done a good job of putting him in a position to succeed. We'll see at some point if they even let him air it out.
1st and goal, Air Force. McVay the carry. McVay pushing a pile, stretches the football. They'll say he was down, and did the ball come loose? Utah State saying it's a fumble, it's our ball. They come out of the pack with it. It's Mason Toback. And let's see if they ruled him down. The Aggies think it's their football. McVay stretched that ball, and did he lose it before the knee was down? I think he's down. I think that's a good call.
Yeah, should be down right there. And of course, we'll get a review.
You're right. Yeah, and they initially pointed timeout Air Force. No, it's Utah State.
Utah State has called their first timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
Want to give them a chance to take a look at it for sure. We'll be back and let you know what happens. 14-3 Utah State. Let's go back to the last carry here by Tim McVay. He was trying to stretch the ball for the end zone. They ruled him down here. And then the ball comes out, and Utah State comes out of the pack with it, Mike.
Utah State continuing their stellar run of red zone defense, but to me it looked like he was down. And it appears the refs agreed now. Air Force will have another chance at it. 2nd and goal from the 1.
That ball was actually close to hitting the goal line, too. They push it back to the 1. Second and goal.
See the tackle over to the right here.
Sanders kept it, and he's going to lose yardage on that play and nowhere to run. It's going to be third and goal for Air Force.
Great job by the middle of this defense. You see Christopher Unga on the ground in the middle, but clouding up that space in there where the quarterback was trying to run. And we talked to Coach Miley the other day, and he said Unga's really the leader of this group in the D-line. Great energy, and brings it down here near the goal line where you need him to show up the most.
10th play of the drive coming here. All rushes on this drive for Air Force. Third and goal. Sanders flips it out. McVay, and he's got the touchdown.
Great move by McVay in the open field here, and really lined up in a similar formation we saw before, going another tackle overlook near the goal line, and this time getting you with a little bit of misdirection, going in that short side of the field towards the tight end with a toss and letting one of their elder statesmen, one of the best rushers this school has seen, make a big play for them.
And this is what you were talking about with the response for Air Force. Their defense holds them inside the 10, they get it back, and now they score.
This is what you need when you're in a short field. And you see you've got a tight end and a slot back both going to work out on this side. And what do you always tell a rusher on any given running play? You've got one guy, and it's your guy. That's your job to make him miss in the open field. McVay creates that miss, creates the touchdown, and capitalizes on that great field position we talked about.
They started from the 46-yard line on Utah State's side of the field and go 10 plays and 3:47 for the touchdown. We've got a 4-point ball game. How about the close calls that we've had for Air Force this season? They come in at 4-7. It could be drastically different, though. San Diego State had 4 lead changes in the fourth quarter. They ended up losing that game by 4, and then they go play a Navy team, and what a game that was.
Game-winning touchdown pass with 15 seconds left for the Naval Academy in an absolute classic.
And that was after Air Force came all the way back. Then they end up beating UNLV down 27-0. And then this one in the Luke Strabel field goal as time expired in the win over Nevada. Scarver on the return. Savon Scarver for Utah State. Knocked down at the 23-yard line with just 16 seconds left in this first quarter. And what a wild first quarter this has been.
An impressive start on both sides, but a great job by Air Force being able to steady themselves, take that deep breath after a frantic start where a young quarterback at home trying to go out here in his first real action and make something happen. It can get away from you quickly if you're not careful, and thankfully that team came together and made it work.
Gerald Bright's in the backfield. That's a keeper, though, by Love. And now he's trying to do what the running backs have done and go for a touchdown, and he's going to be brought down to 42. That's James Jones with a big first down run there for Jordan Love. That's a gain of 20. Utah State wants to run another play here before the end of the quarter, and they get it off. Love hit as he throws, and the catch is made by Scarver on the sideline. First down, and that's where the Aggies will start with the second quarter of the Air Force 44. What a start for the Aggies. That's Bright going 75 yards for a touchdown. They lead this one 14-10. Back with a second after this.